Good morning, guys. So today we're going to be testing out the Ordinary's foundation. I got two of them. I've got one in 2.1P, which is a medium peak undertone, and I also got another one in 2.0N, which is a light medium. So this is not the serum, this is the one that's supposed to be more of a coverage foundation, and I have found that it is more of a matte foundation. So we're going to go ahead and mix them together, and this is what they look like here. Both of them are 1 fluid ounce. You're supposed to shake them up before you use them, so make sure you shake them really well. I'm going to go ahead and take my little foundation pump thingy. I'm going to do a tiny pump of, just the tiniest pump there, of the 2.0N, and then one tiny pump of the other. So just tiny. Might actually do just a little bit more of the other, of the lighter one. So I'm going to go ahead and just spread this on my face. I'm going to take my e.l.f. brush here and I'm going to blend it in. And then I will take my blender on the other side and show you how that goes on. So here's the side with the brush, and then here's the side with the blender. I do feel like both sides look pretty similar. I just prefer the brush with this particular foundation. So I'm going to go through and just take whatever's left here on my pad and just kind of fill in a little areas here and here that I feel like need just a little bit more coverage. I've found that this foundation does kind of stick to dry areas. I did exfoliate my face this morning with Philosophy's exfoliant beads, I believe it's called. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's the white bottle. I'll put that down below too if you guys want to check that out. Alright, so this is what it looks like with the full face of the makeup. I feel like I need just a little bit more coverage just in the center. So I'm just going to take the lighter of the two and then just kind of, just in the center here. So as you can see, it's kind of a buildable foundation, which is really nice. So it doesn't look too cakey if you do try to build it up. So the foundation is on and my face looks okay for the most part. I do have a little bit of dry patches going on my forehead. Maybe you can see the area here where it's kind of clinging to some dry patches, just a little bit. And then right here in this area, it's doing the same. In my nose area, it seems to be doing okay. It's a little clingy here and here, and then right here it gets a little build up. Like on my chin area, it kind of builds up just a little bit in that area, but it doesn't look like too funky throughout the day. It just kind of looks like foundation on my face. So I'm going to go ahead and finish putting on the rest of my makeup. We've got the foundation on at exactly 6:09 in the morning. So I'll go put the rest of my makeup on. I'm going to go talk with my husband for a little bit before he has to go to work. I'll be back to show you what the full face of makeup looks like. I will be using a concealer today, which is going to be the Boing concealer, the hydrating concealer from Benefit. And then I will be using a setting powder, and I'm using the one that I got in my Ipsy box. Where is that? Oh, the Naked Cosmetics translucent setting powder today. So that is what else is going on in my face as far as coverage, and then the rest of it's just going to be regular makeup. So I'll be back in a little bit to show you guys how the finished look looks like, and to tell you if the makeup changes with any other makeup on. Alright guys, so here's the finished look. I think the makeup looks good. Other makeups go pretty well on top of it. There was a slight weirdness on this side of my face, and I'm pretty sure it's my fault, but you can see like a patchiness on this side. Let me see if I can get close enough so you can see that patchiness there. Right here in this area. And I don't know if that's because I put more foundation there, but you can see that there. And it's not on the other side there. So like I said, I'm not too sure if that's my fault or if that's the foundation's fault, but it is kind of building just a little bit there in the forehead. You can see it right there in that area. From this distance, which is probably about, I would say 2 feet 2 feet away from the camera here, it looks fine. It looks completely fine. You can't see any of those weird imperfections, and so far it's doing okay. It does really well with other makeups on top of it, except for this area here. And I think I might have used my damp beauty blender there after I put some powder, so I think that was my fault in that area because it didn't happen in this area. But everything else looks okay except for this portion here where it's starting to look a little, it's just clinging to some little dry pieces of skin that I have. We're gonna go ahead and wear it for the rest of the day. I'll come back on my normal check-in, so on my lunch break, and then at the end of the day I'll show you what it looks like. I will see you guys in about 5 hours, and alright guys, so this is my first check-in for the foundation, and it is now 1:11 in the afternoon. I believe we started around 6 o'clock to 6:30. It's about 7 to 6 and 6.5 to 7 hours that we've had this foundation on. The only issue I have is that in my forehead area, if I get close, I don't know if you guys can see that there, but it is kind of doing some weird clingy things here in this area. And then right here in this area, it's still doing what it was doing this morning, only a little bit worse now, probably just because of some of the oils in my face. It did definitely fade away here in this area where I have some scarring, and then here on this side too where I also have the scarring, and then I have like a little bit of a breakout right here. So that's where it's sitting at the 6.5 to 7 hours. So it's still doing okay for the most part, but it does have its flaws. So it is 6:30 in the evening. It's officially late. I have to go to the store, and today is the eclipse day. We live in Wyoming. We live in an area of Wyoming where you got to see a lot of the eclipse. We had 98% of the eclipse. 2 cities down, about 2 hours away, you got to see 100% of the eclipse. So it is insane right now with people trying to get out of our little towns. Just going to get gas and going to the grocery store took us like 2 hours. So whew. I hope everybody had fun watching the eclipse today. I thought it was amazing. I had to just say that real quick. Now I'm going to tell you what I think about this foundation. I have now had it on for 12.5 hours. Aside from the fact that it did do a little patchiness on my forehead, and then right here in my nose area where it did kind of cling to a few dry spots, and then right here where I have dry spots it didn't cling to, but it did something weird this morning. It did start fading away here in this area at about the 7-hour mark, and then in this area too where you can see that I do have some alright guys, acne scars. Coming to you on another day. I am editing this video right now and realized I did not get to the point of the video at the end of the day. I just rambled on about a bunch of shit that didn't even matter, and I didn't tell you whether or not I liked this foundation. And no. I cannot recommend this foundation for anybody that has dry skin or anybody that has combination skin. It did some really funky things on my face, and it continues to do so when I use it. I've used this foundation a lot of times and just cannot get it to fully work for me. I'm hoping that in the winter months it may be a little bit different. I am going to keep it because I do not think that you can send these back. Anyways, I didn't see a return label on their website, so I'm just going to keep them and see if maybe they work a little bit different in the winter months, because foundations tend to do that with me. They work better in the winter sometimes than they do in the summer months. So as of right now, as a summer foundation, I'm giving this a thumbs down, but I may in turn come back later on in the winter and give this a thumbs up, so we'll see. This is going to be another one that I will try out again in the winter and let you guys know. But okay, that is the conclusion of this video. Like I said, I'm coming to you in a later date, and I hope you guys are okay with that. I need to learn to keep my words in check while I'm filming and just not go on a tangent about things that don't make any sense at all. Alright guys, I hope you guys have a great night, and I shall talk to you guys sometime within the week. Bye!